Hello, good morning. It's coming up to 9:15 in the morning on Boxing Day. Hope you're all having a very nice Christmas and New Year period, or if you're watching this in the New Year, I hope you had a nice festive period. Today is part one of a two-part special I'm doing over the festive period around children's nursery rhymes. It occurred to me recently, two of the most popular children's nursery rhymes both have their origins about 2.5 miles from each other. It's said that's the case anyway. So today I'm going out through Radstock. This is the old Somerset and Dorset Railway. That's Devonshire Tunnel behind me. This traffic-free path will take me most of the way into Radstock. Then I'll flip old railways, start heading out towards Kilmersdon. It's just south of Radstock. And there we're going to go and have a look at Jack and Jill Hill. It's actually quite a dark story. So I'll tell you more about that when we get there, and I'll tell you why and how I've cheered it up a little bit. So that's what's coming up. I'm now down in the Churchyard Vale, riding alongside the Wellow Brook. This is a part of the route that does not follow the course of the old railway. The old railway route has either been eradicated completely with fields or it's on private land. This is not exactly unpleasant, is it? It's like being in a national park here, or at least an AONB. Just over 7 miles from my front door. I'm now about 9 miles into my ride, coming into the old mining town of Radstock, which itself is about 10 miles south of Bath. Great thing about this old Somerset and Dorset railway line is it's a fantastic way to get from my hometown of Bath to Radstock, relatively hill-free. When we get to Radstock, there's a change of direction there. It's a pivotal point really for both parts of the video. I'll explain to you when we get to the centre of Radstock and the old mining memorial. You may see I'm heavily dressed up today. The reason being is the temperatures are hovering just above freezing, about 2-3 degrees C, but the wind chill, it's about -3 according to the BBC website. Me and Linda went out for a walk on Christmas Eve and then again yesterday, and the wind was absolutely bitter. It just cut straight through you, hence the really heavy winter clothing. Okay, we're now in Radstock, which is an old coal mining town. It mined the Somerset coalfields, which are abundant all around here because of the valleys. You can see one of the memorials behind me, one of the old wheels. And that way, what used to be the old marketplace and the market hall is now Radstock Museum. There's a really good mining exhibition in there. It's a lovely memorial. What's quite a busy road actually, even on Boxing Day that's busy. During the week that's almost bumper to bumper traffic. So just briefly, this used to be a very busy railway junction, or should I say a merging of railway. So I've just come in from Bath that way along the route of the old Somerset and Dorset Railway, and it had a station right here, which this park is now built on top of, and it carried on that way and then it bend left and go up over the Mendips. It's pretty much doing what that road's doing, or the old Fossway did as well, Bath to Shepton Mallet via the Mendips. Not quite as steep, but steep enough, which is why they called it slow and dirty. Quite often took 2 engines pumping out a lot of smoke to get out there. But right alongside it there, that was the GWR station. So that went from Frome that way to Wells that way. We're just going to cross over and then get on the route of it actually and head out left. You go through a new housing estate and then you'll clearly see, oh, that looks like an old railway building, and then it just suddenly turns into what's clearly an old railway. We're going to head out just a couple of miles along that old railway to Kilmersdon, or more specifically Jack and Jill Hill at Kilmersdon. That's the origins of the nursery rhyme Jack and Jill. And then on part 2 we'll come back here, but we'll take that direction and we're going to go up and investigate another really famous nursery rhyme and see whether there's any credence to its claim or whether it can be debunked. But that's going to be part 2. Okay, back to today. We're going to just go along there, head over to the other railway through this housing estate, get on the railway, and then we'll trundle along to Kilmersdon. So you can see this is the course of the old railway, which has been developed, and very soon it'll turn into a lovely old greenway just after these houses. Gosh, I'm going back eastwards, you can really tell the difference with the temperature. It's cold, biting wind. Lots of sculptures along here, just crossed over a red engineering brick railway bridge, and this is it. My housing estate to the course of the old railway. Oh look, there's some of the old track there as well. This is lovely. We're clearly on an embankment about 15-20 feet above a little stream down there. I don't know if that's the River Somer or a stream flowing into it. Going over a bridge here. And hey, literally within about a mile leaving those houses, we're coming into our destination. I can just see the church towers sticking through the trees. So we're going to come in along above Kilmersdon, then we're going to drop down into it because it's in a little bit of a dip. I doubt if the church will be open, but I am going to look around the churchyard to see if I can find certain names on some graves. I'm told if you look closely enough you may spot them. More about that when we get to the churchyard. Just a couple of 100 yards further on this bend, you'll see we're right above the village of Kilmersdon and the church. And there's a track going off down there from the railway line down there. You can take a few steps down there to cut a corner off, but because we're on a bike. Devonshire, Quarrendon. Plenty of quarries along here and old coal mines. So we're going to pop down here, start at the church, and then we'll make our way up Jack and Jill Hill, and we'll see what we can find in reference to the nursery rhyme. There's quite a bit there. So a very sharp right hand turn here, doubling back on ourselves. And we're dropping down into the village. So as well as Somerset having coalfields, it also had lots of quarries. There's lots of nods to it round here, like these old quarry stones. Still some that survive to this day. Possibly a stone like that fell from this quarry, killed poor old Jack. Before this old railway was turned into a cycleway, I didn't like coming through Kilmersdon too much because it's down in a dip, and you would come down a steep hill and then go up a long drag the other way, no matter what direction you came in. So it was always hard work, especially in a cycling club where people are starting to burn it up on the way home. But now, virtually flat most of the way. Community cafe it says back there. Go around the bend, up a little rise. Here we are, just the village suddenly appears out of nowhere. Morning. Just before we get to the village and the church, here we are, Jack and Jill Hill. What they believe is the origin of the famous nursery rhyme. So there's quite a steep trek up. We're actually heading up to an infants or a junior school. At the bottom of the hill might be a good time to explain what gave me the idea of this two-parter before I get out of breath as we walk up the steep hill to the well. There's a young guy in Somerset, has this website and social media platforms called Knight's Tales, and he does these really short videos of interesting snippets of information that we can all go and visit in Somerset, and this was one of them. He did 24 during December. Each day he did an advent video, and this was one of them. And I thought, do you know what, I've ridden by it, seen the sign so many times, you know what, I've never been up there, and I haven't. Today will be the first time. So I thought, yeah, And when I saw there was a well in the school playground, I thought, do it over Christmas when the schools have broken up, so there's no danger of inadvertently getting children in your video. So just past the barrier there, here's point of interest number 1, Jack and Jill Hill. So I will drop a link down in the description below. If it's on YouTube, I'll also put one of those cards up in the top right hand corner as well. But it's only about a 2-minute film, and he explains it. He says it much better than I can say it or play it. He was saying, we all know the nursery rhyme. The story goes, there was a young couple, unmarried, from the village of Kilmersdon, who lived at the bottom of the hill, and they used to walk up the well every day and fetch their water. And then one day a boulder fell down and hit Jack on the head, because there's quarries all around here, and this one particular quarry was notoriously dangerous. And of course he died. Soon after the accident, Jill gave birth to a son, and then it said that she died tragically afterwards of a broken heart. So it really is quite a dark story, isn't it? Then the son was adopted by members of the local community, and he was known as Jill's son. At the end of the Knight's Tales advert video about Jack and Jill, he says Jill's son, spelt with a G I think, is a common name from around here, and if you look carefully enough you may see 1 or 2 examples in the churchyard. So when we've been to the top of the hill and then we've come back down after, we're going to have a look around the churchyard and see if we can find any Jillsons. Seats all the way up, and I can see all these stones. So that was number 1. They're all the way up by the look of it, and that's the school at the top. I expect that's where the well is. Let's go and find number 2. Number 1 is Jack and Jill. Number 2 probably is going to say went uphill. Let's go and see what it does say. And here we are, just past the seat there. Number 2 went up the hill. Jack and Jill went up the hill. I think we get the idea of what's coming up, don't we? It's lovely here, it really is a beautiful spot. Gosh. That's nice. Bet that's popular with the kids. Beautiful sight, isn't it? Smoke billowing across as we make our way up to the well. I counted my steps, about 37 from that last stone to this one, so roughly 40. Number 3, to fetch a pail of water. And yet another seat. And number 4, Jack fell down. Just as the incline's starting to bite a little bit, sounds like some dog walkers coming down that footpath there. Number 5, and broke his crown. Top of the skull, isn't it? Oh, hello doggies. This is a lovely little seat at the top. Plenty of people out today walking their dogs. You can see we're gaining some elevation. Nearly at the top and getting some good views now, aren't we? It's number 6. Jill came tumbling after. See, it's a sad and dark nursery rhyme really, isn't it? It's a tragedy. It's a love story with a tragedy. So I've used some AI editing, and I've used an AI music app, and I've produced a song which I hope has got a happy ending. Took my inspiration from Paul McCartney, to paraphrase him, take a sad rhyme and make it better. So you'll hear that at the end of the video. There are enough critics in the world. There's plenty of room for a few romantics and dreamers like me. Here we are, almost at the top of the hill. And there's the well, ladies and gentlemen. Kilmersdon C.V. Primary School. Look what we got up on the wall, slate plaque. It's in a children's school, so obviously I cannot go in there. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. And then there's some description of it below. Look all the slate plaques as well. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 down the left side, 1, 2, 3 on the right. How lovely is that? So from the well at the top of Jack and Jill Hill, we're just going to go up here to this minor road. And do you remember I said to you when we got to Radstock by the old railway stations, the mini roundabouts, I said on part 2 we're going to split here. Today we've gone off to the left, and on part 2 we're going to go off to the right. Well, when we do that, on part 2 of this video, we'll be coming along here. And our second point of interest, the origin of another very, very famous nursery rhyme, is along there. When I saw the Knight's Tale video, I was just inspired to come out here because, as I said, I've never actually been here before. I've ridden by it so many times, you know, on the way to summer. I'm desperate to get home. Just thought, oh, one day I'll go in there. Well, it's one of those examples. Today is that day. So part 2, I will be coming along here out of Radstock, heading that way. Part 2 was just, you know, when you're lying in bed at night and you're thinking things through, and ping, all of a sudden something like a connection's made. I was thinking, that's a coincidence. I was only talking about the possible plague village at Holcombe recently on the Kilmersdon video, where I went over the Severn Bridge up into Monmouthshire to check out one of the most remote churches in the UK. I was saying I wondered if that was a plague village, which is why people migrated away, and then I used St Andrew's Church at Holcombe as an example to suggest not all plague villages were actually plague villages. Some of it's just myth, folklore passed down through the generations. Then afterwards, when I was thinking things through, just so I got that ping, that connection, I thought, that's weird, isn't it? I'm planning this nursery rhyme ride, and there's a reference to another nursery rhyme along at St Andrews at Holcombe. And I thought, they're quite close, aren't they? That's strange, isn't it? I looked it up on Google Maps, 2.4 miles distance in between the two. How strange is that? Two of the most well-known nursery rhymes in the UK, and they say they originate from literally 2.5 miles apart. So that's going to be part 2 of the video. Could ride back to Radstock that way. Literally, it's just up there and then down the hill. But I'm actually going to retrace my steps because I want to go down to the Churchyard. I knew the Jack and Jill story, of course I did, and I roughly knew where it was, although I'd never been down here. Didn't know about the Jill-son connection and the possible graves in the churchyard to look out for. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to go down and have a wander around the churchyard and see if we can find any Jill-sons. And just as we enter the village, look, looks like an old Methodist hall maybe. Look at that lovely carving. Love those finger signposts. Then the more modern version, Amos Lane, leading to Jack and Jill Hill. That does look like an old Methodist building, doesn't it? All the ivy going up. Private residence now by the look of it. There's a hill up there. You can just about see the school at the top. That was a Methodist hall or a Methodist church. The Syrian church is over there. I'm going to go in, have a wander around the churchyard and see if we can find any graves with the surname Jill-son on. Okay, I've come to the east and the north side of the church, and it's quite a big churchyard. I guess I'm looking for older graves, not sure, I'm just assuming that. And that looks like an extension to the graveyard down there, later additions. They look newer, more recent, so I'm just going to wander around. Well, I've had a cursory look around the churchyard, and as you can imagine, the older graves, a lot of them are very, very faded, and I'm starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable prying that much. These are people's relatives or ancestors after all. I just feel a little bit uncomfortable going around looking too closely just to wrap up a YouTube video. So I have done, I've used some AI, some artificial intelligence, to create a song and some copyright free video. And because this nursery rhyme has got a dark theme to it, And after all, it's a love story, isn't it, with the tragedy. I wanted to make a song and a video with a happy ending.
Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Jack got up and home did try as fast as he could caper to old Dan Dobb, who patched his knob with vinegar and brown paper.
Hope you like my little song with a positive ending. Vinegar and brown paper reference in the nursery rhyme. As I understand it, it was a common treatment or cure for cuts and bruises in those days. Okay, see you in a few days for part 2.